So what is going on, everybody? Sorry about that for the delay right there. A little technical difficulties, but add a little bit of content to the solution. Welcome back to Inside the Sidelines with your host, me. My name is Mitch Smith. A lot of you know me as for this recording as the NFL podcast rolls on, and wanted to do something a little different today. A little bit of solo content on this nice stormy weather in Buffalo, coming soon to a city near you. But wanted to get this video out there and to get something a little different. Again, recapping of the NFL season. I wanted to do, but kind of again delayed that. Like I said, a lot of stuff are going to be coming here. I wanted to kind of adjust stuff really quick before we continue on in the video. Is that we are going to, like I said, we're going to be doing these not really weekly. I kind of want to get these out now. It's kind of like a little mid-season, but also, as you can tell from the title of the video, is going to be NFL Mock Draft Inside the Sidelines 1.0 here at Inside the Sidelines. So the whole reason why I wanted to start this channel too is because so I can get NFL mock drafts out to people. I know a lot of you folks out there know I'm a big draft guy. I love doing mock drafts. I love talking the draft with a lot of people. And as many of my friend group knows, and any as well as me, draft season, that's my time. I really love talking about the NFL draft. I really love talking about the prospects because I'm a big college football guy. And this year is pretty interesting. A little bit of take on this year's NFL 2025 draft. It's interesting. It's interesting for a lot of certain reasons. A lot of unknowns coming to an end to the college football season. A lot of the kids are going to be declaring soon after their bowl games. If not, they already did declare. Travis Hunter being the most notable. Apologies, his teammate Shador being the most notable one. Already declaring. I hadn't seen anybody else declare, but I'm sure as more and more weeks to come, they will be coming out. So a lot of interesting stuff coming along this week in college football. The SEC championship game, the ACC, everybody's championship game coming up this weekend. Most notable the SEC, because that is always the big one in college football. That's your top division. So it'll be interesting to see Texas and Georgia go Dogs, in my opinion, for that game. With that being said here, welcome to the channel. If you guys are new here, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe in the beginning of this video, so we can have more content coming out to you very relatively soon. With that being said, folks, the title of the video, NFL Mock Draft Top 10. Yes, it is going to be just a top 10 for right now. I'm going to try to get something special going for all 32 coming in the coming weeks, but kind of waiting for that to be towards the end of the season. I just with the NFL top 10 being just the top 10 worst teams, I guess you can say, in the top 10. So they're going to be the most notable ones coming out of what they need, what teams are looking for, and what you can do to improve your team in the future to be ready for 2025. So with that being said, here the further ado. Here's your NFL top 10. Jacksonville being number 1, Las Vegas being number 2, New York Giants being number 3, New England Patriots being number 4, Carolina being 5, New York Jets being 6, Tennessee being number 7, Cleveland being number 8, Cincinnati being number 9, and to round out your top 10, New Orleans Saints, folks. Definitely an interesting top 10 this year. Not shocking that a couple teams are up here, like the Panthers, like the Jets. Vegas actually is not really shocking at all. Jacksonville's probably, New Orleans probably, Cincinnati definitely. All shocking teams to be up here. Kind of those top 3 kind of stand out in my eyes, because you think Cincinnati, Jacksonville, it was kind of a 50-50, I think, this year with that. But also wanted to exploring again with the first overall pick in the draft. They currently sit at number 1. My take is, I think in this year, you're not going to see, I don't think you're going to see that much trade down, but in Jacksonville's situation, it's very interesting. I can see them also trading out. I can also see them just staying put and selecting the player I'm going to have in the mock draft. It's interesting with Jacksonville because Trevor Lawrence didn't really have that good of a season. But obviously with this, Jacksonville is not going to be trading out, obviously, as of right now, as December 4th rolls on. So we will currently keep you updated on that. But again, the draft order could change. Jacksonville could secure the number 1 overall pick in the coming weeks here, but also Vegas could secure that as well. But I don't see Jacksonville ever going down in the draft order unless something really awesome happens and the next few weeks they're just going to go on a winning streak. But I don't see them doing that because of the position that they're in. With that further ado, let's get into it. So NFL mock draft 1.0 top 10, again 32 team coming out relatively soon. Jacksonville with the number 1 overall pick, I have them selecting Travis Hunter. The two-way sensation, the wide receiver and cornerback coming out of Colorado. Yes, I think he kind of might be the solidified number 1 overall pick this year. Depending on who's picking number 1 this year, I think, like I said, Jacksonville currently holds the number 1 overall pick. If they continue on this path, they will hold the number 1 overall pick. If they decide to stick and put to be number 1, I say Travis Hunter all the way. No harm, no foul there. Again, just a two-way player, sensational this year, probably winning the Heisman. So kind of really no takes on him. Like I said, two-way player. If anybody has watched college football, you know who this guy is. Again, he will probably, I don't know what they're gonna be doing with him. He's kind of like the Ohtani of football, as my friends like to put it. But it's interesting because you see Jacksonville and you're seeing, they have a lot of needs, cornerback and wide receiver being one of them. Again, we don't know what Travis Hunter is going to come out and say, or they don't know what the scouts are going to say that he can play both positions. We might see this, folks, that one player might be going to both positions. I don't know what Jacksonville would have for him, but in different packages in certain situations, I see definitely utilizing him as the number 1 overall draft prospect. Again, just a sensational two-way player, corner and wide receiver. So he plays a lot of downs, folks. So he has that mentality of football mentality and playing the game, playing his game, and going to here to Jacksonville at number 1. Las Vegas at number 2. Kind of not a shocking one at all. And I have them going Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders, quarterback needy team, going to the Vegas Raiders. I see that as a good fit for him. Just many reasons. I think Shedeur, you can obviously look at him and say he is a Vegas Raider, honestly. Obviously being ties to his dad, but his dad never played for the Vegas Raiders. So, I see this just being a fit, quarterback needy team. I think they're in a position to draft Shedeur. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think everybody and their mother knows that they're a quarterback needy team. I don't see them going a different route just because Vegas needs a quarterback. I don't see them going another route. Like I said, I see them taking Shedeur. No harm, no really scouting prospect on him. Apparently he holds onto the ball too long, which is very, very concerning. If you're an NFL quarterback, you need to be fast and persistent with being at the quarterback position, and needing him to get the ball out faster is very teachable. I see Shedeur actually going a long way to having an NFL career like that, but again, a little bit teachable moments, and can work on a few mechanics of himself, but he is good enough to be the 2nd overall pick for a reason. So having him in Vegas will be an interesting storyline going forward if they decide to go that route. Moving on to the New York Football Giants, off of Daniel Jones era, off of this. I think this is another kind of plain and simple pick. I have them going Cam Ward. Kind of again, the other quarterback kind of I see getting solidified as the other quarterback being taken on in this draft. Unfortunately, this year I have not seen enough out of a lot of other quarterback prospects like Quentin Ewers, Jalen Milrow, Jackson Dart, Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier. All those guys I feel like are not worthy of a first round grade yet, depending on what they come out in the combine. Especially Carson Beck, man. I mean, he was projected to be one of the first round QBs, possibly 3 coming out, and had a very down year this year with the interceptions and all that. The takes on Cam Ward here, again, man, it's just I think it's interesting to see Cam Ward extend to the excel that he has. He had a great season at Miami. Again, I think it's with him and Shedeur, same thing. They both hold on to the ball too long, which leads to sacks. And again, they struggled with that. Colorado and Miami struggled keeping their quarterbacks upright because the quarterback does hold on to the ball too long. I see this being a good fit for New York, though. I mean, he does have a talented arm along with Shedeur. A little bit of a like I said, the mechanics issue, but Cam Ward can definitely figure that out in the long run. He is worthy of being the 3rd overall pick in the draft. Moving on to number 4, I have the New England Patriots selecting an edge here. Their needs are edge, corner, defensive tackle, wide receiver, safety. That's what they're saying that the needs are for the New England Patriots. But also, folks, this is just a mock draft, so obviously nothing is set in stone. But I have them going Abdul Carter, the edge out of Penn State. Abdul Carter has been comped to Michael Parsons, could be up to Michael Parsons' level. Again, being the Penn State related, so it is certainly interesting to see. What the future holds for Abdul Carter. Patriots definitely need defensive help. Definitely off the edge, no less. Definitely need help on the offensive side of the ball too, but definitely I feel like that Abdul Carter is not going to be the first defensive player off the board. He will be the first defensive player off the board. I feel like he's getting a lot of hype. Again, it could be either which way, man. I mean, I feel like they can go offense or defense, but looking at the Patriots this year, I just feel like the defense, they need to focus on defense in the first round. I feel like that you can get a good offensive prospect in the second round this year. So Abdul Carter, again, just a fast guy watching Penn State games. He can beat you off the edge. He can do it all. Just what an edge player obviously does. But he is worthy of being the first defensive player off the board just because of the year that he's been having and getting to the quarterback. I feel like this year and everything, obviously mechanics, obviously wise can be a little bit worked on. But again, I think Abdul Carter could be the first defensive player off the board. Which brings me to the Panthers. Panthers are definitely a interesting team here to definitely go either way of the ball as well. I just see either or going off the board. This one's an interesting pick. I had a little bit of an issue kind of just looking at them and saying, that's going to be their guy. We're going to go Will Johnson here. Will Johnson, the cornerback out of Michigan. Giving them a cornerback out of Michigan, probably the number 1 cornerback coming out of the draft class. He is I think he's a sensational cornerback. Probably everything that you want in a cornerback to pair up with Horn on the other side. And I think that the 1-2 combo of Will Johnson and Horn being the thing, again, I can see them going offense here, but I feel like that Will Johnson is just too good to pass up. I feel like the combination of Horn and Will Johnson is can't make that up, folks. I feel like that it's going to be good, and you're going to have a sensational pick with Will Johnson here. Height, weight, speed corner, coming out of Michigan, 6'2", 205 pounds. Like I said, he has a length, he has height, he has speed, his recovery is sensational. The only thing he lacks is man coverage. In the comp here. They're not comping him to anybody just yet until after the combine, but he does win with his size, and he can definitely plant and go, and he has a quick drive with your man. He could definitely box you out, and he will definitely beat you back. He will definitely beat you on the attack with Will Johnson. The Jets at number 6. This one was an interesting one. Obviously, quarterback. I don't see them going quarterback here. Unfortunately, the Jets just have a lot of needs right now. Again, I just think it's too good to pass up. I'm gonna go Mason Graham out of the University of Michigan, so back-to-back Michigan players. So a pairing mate with Williams over there in New York. With that, Williams is 6'3", 318 pounds. He flashes with elite capacity and throttling up to the attack at blocking angles with force. He has a quick first step and a stellar, and with the quickness off the ball. Once the ball is snapped, watch out, because he is going to wreak havoc with that mass of his that he has. The only thing that he can do, the only thing he can probably really improve on is his power rushes. He seemed to struggle this year with power rushing with that at Michigan. And then he does have a little bit of length issue. Obviously, his length is kind of average, but which can impact with his power rush. Again, he's lacking that power rush ability. I feel to be to kind of help him with him being the elite deal of the elite. But again, being top 10, I should say, with this pick is kind of being elite, in my opinion. I feel like that it's a good fit for New York. Again, they have a bunch of other needs, but I feel like getting a partner with Quentin Williams is going to be your best bet, so you can win in the trenches and finally getting that pass rush help that the Jets don't desperately need. I think, in my opinion, already have a good defense, but again, can find that running mate with Quentin Williams. The Tennessee Titans at number 7. Tennessee definitely need to go offense here. This one was kind of back and forth with me because being on the board here, we have a lot of things to get going. With the Tennessee Titans, I have them selecting Takeo McMillan, the wide receiver out of Arizona. He is the first wide receiver off the board. 6'5", 210 pounds. He's tall, lean. He's a big receiving threat. Obviously, he can box you out and outreach defenders with that length of his. 6'5". He runs routes very well. While having that speed, sizing capacity, with motion. When he gets in motion, he's accelerate with his size. He does lack on trying to separate a little bit from the cornerbacks. Again, what I said was what he means by breaking from his routes. I did not say he was a threat to go and separate from the cornerbacks now. Like I said, if you can beat him with your speed like he has, you can win one-on-one battles. Again, he does lack separation sometimes, but him being worthy of the 7th overall pick here is good in my books. Again, tall, lenient threat. He can, like I said, box you out with the defenders, but again, he can definitely work on that technical of separating, getting away from the cornerbacks and making that big explosive play that I feel like the Tennessee Titans are lacking right now. Again, you have Calvin Ridley, but who else outside of him do you have? You don't really have that much. So I think McMillan here from Arizona will be the pick here. I got the Browns. The Browns here can go many different directions at number 8 overall. Again, this could be a nice little trade back scenario, but again, not being the trade back scenario. They can go in many different directions. Their needs are quarterback, cornerback, quarterback, offensive tackle, running back, and wide receiver. I see them, honestly, I can see them going offensive tackle. I can see them lacking very much offensive tackle depth. Again, this year's offensive lineman tackle draft, too, I should say, is that a lot of them are projected to go to guard because of their size and their length. Again, we will see what's going on there with the thing here with the Browns. Again, definitely can go many different directions here, but I'm having them select to protect the next quarterback there. Again, I don't see a quarterback being taken here, so I feel like they're going to take probably arguably to be the best offensive lineman in the draft is going to be Kelvin Banks Jr., the big offensive tackle from Texas, 6'4", 327 pounds. He's fast. He shows flashes of quickness in his stance to where he can solidify his stance and push it back with his explosiveness. Again, he is a low ground blocker with elite length, I should say. The only thing he can do is that he can plant your feet. He has heavy feet that where he's planting in his recovery. Could delay that with the motion that he does, with motions that offensive tackles have to do, that could kind of disrupt how he acts as a offensive tackle. But he is good enough to kind of be the one and the only kind of offensive tackle right now to be solidified at tackle. I feel like he is going to be a tackle at the NFL level. He could be the first offensive lineman off the board here at number 8 with the Browns. Again, the Browns needing so much, but kind of want to build the trenches a little bit on the offensive side before you go and attack your other needs. Kind of solidify that offensive line to get that going here. Not much on Kelvin Banks. Again, he's a great one of two offensive tackles. Him and Cameron Williams coming out as Texas teammates. So we will see where Mr. Cameron Williams goes as his Texas teammate goes off the board here. The Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are an interesting team to be up in the top 10, I think. Not having a great year, picking top 9. Again, we are in the presence of a shocking top 10 this year, I think, in my opinion. A couple of those teams, obviously, like I said, a couple of those teams are definitely shocking to be in the top 10. Again, only around 3, I think. Cincinnati, New Orleans, and Jacksonville. Again, you can argue with Jacksonville not always being in the top 10, but again, they're kind of that mid team where it's like, are you shocked that they're there? Maybe, maybe not. But again, going to Cincinnati, definitely can go different directions. Trey Henderson is up. T. Higgins is up. Which one do you want to keep the most? Again, they could go wide receiver. They could not. There is a worthy one of probably being taken at this pick. Or you can go edge defender. There's a couple edge defenders. Or let's mix it up here, folks. Let's go a shocking one. And what do the Bengals have right now? Bengals have a wide receiver. They have a quarterback. They have a pretty decent offensive line. And you can argue their defense kind of blows, but again, we don't know. Why not go off the board here? Team needs wide receiver, tight end, edge, offensive guard, and a center. Why not go probably a riser this year? Not only a riser, but the most anticipated Heisman race, along with Travis Hunter, the beast out of Boise State, Ashton Jeanty. And that's who I have the Cincinnati Bengals picking. Now, hear me out. Chase Brown is doing a solidified job. Has Zach Moss. Is injured a lot. Why not go and get Joe Burrow a running back? Take the pressure off of Joe Burrow. We can see what quarterbacks do when they have a running game. Ashton Genty could definitely relieve a lot of pressure for a lot of teams. But the Bengals, I feel like that he's a Bengal. I feel like he's a Bengal. Everyone knows what Ashton Genty can do. He can run that rock. And I think he's worthy of being the 9th overall pick. Again, we don't see running back being valued these days. But who knows, folks? You can see a running back getting taken, I think, nowadays. I feel like the league has put the league on notice to get this going here for the Bengals. Again, my shocking pick of the draft, I think, in my opinion. I know a certain team that is definitely going to be upset if he goes at number 9. I think they're going to do all in their power to get up to that, get up past, I think, the Bengals, I think, in my opinion, to see if they can try to get a jump ahead and get Ashton Genty, that team being the Dallas Cowboys. They are a running back needy team. Everybody and their grandmother knows the Cowboys need a running back. So, but this is my mock draft. Again, the 32-team one. We'll see what happens, folks. We'll see what happens. Ashton Genty, again, sensational running back. Boise State is going to miss him dearly. I hope they make a good run in the CFP and have them go. And again, Ashton Genty, what a player. Just what a player. Strong running back, fast, can beat you with his strength, and he's I feel like he's the next Derrick Henry. That's a lot of praise for that, but I feel like he could get to Derrick Henry level to where everyone's annoyed with him. But Ashton Genty going to the Bengals. Number 10, the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints. It's a very interesting team being in the top 10. Again, do we see it kind of being shocking here? Yes. But again, at the same time, why not have another team that just has a team that just is very weird, that it's interesting to have them here. It's New Orleans. I mean, I really can't say much about them. I feel like this is a defensive pick here. I feel like that they could go either which way. They can go offense or defense here. But I'm gonna have them going Mykel Williams, the edge defender out of Georgia. He is 6'5", 265 pounds. He is has elite size, athleticism, length, and lean mass. For this, he does have that flashes of speed on the rushes. He has that power that can beat you off the edge. He is a run defender first, and I feel like he could work his way into a pass rusher. But he is an Alsatian run defender. Being watching a lot of Georgia games. Shout out to my brother-in-law. But he can beat you in the run game. Can definitely have that flashes at pass rush as well. The only thing he lacks is when he power rushes, he does lose control at sometimes. He can control that a little bit more with that, but I feel like that Mykel Williams will be a top 10 pick. A matter of what team would be in need of him. I think New Orleans is lucky at the chops because he fell, I feel like, at this far. But again, who knows? Who knows what the future holds for the top 10. Again, as I'm recording this is December 4th, folks. So again, we'll see what the future holds with the top 10. But that is going to wrap up the top 10 here, folks. So again, Jacksonville going Travis Hunter, Shedeur going to the Raiders, Cam Ward going to the New York Giants, Abdul Carter going to the Patriots, Will Johnson going to the Carolina Panthers, Mason Graham, defensive tackle, going to the Jets, Takario McMillan. Again, if I butcher his first name, I apologize. Mr. McMillan going to the Tennessee Titans. Kelvin Banks being the first offensive lineman in my mock draft, going to the Browns here, Ashton Jeanty, the shocking top 10 pick of a running back going to the Bengals, and Mikael Williams, edge defender out of Georgia, going to the New Orleans Saints. That's going to wrap up the top 10 for this video, guys. Now wrapping up that top 10, we're going to do something towards the end of the video. Again, draft video. Can't talk about the Bills' current draft needs. So obviously everybody has been watching the Bills this season. Definitely going to be a ride in going into the playoffs. Coming down the stretch, we secured that division. That is number one. That is off the list now. Now go get that first seed. Bills draft needs, kind of interesting. Whatever we think, I think everybody can agree on with me in the comments. The Bills draft needs are. So it's interesting because I've been watching them this year, and it's very shocking to me that a lot of needs are still needed for this team. As much as our team is succeeding right now, there's still a lot of needs. You can always improve your team. One of them, I feel like this is going to be a defensive. I feel like this is going to be a defensive pick, where no matter where they land, I feel like it's going to go again. I think it's going to be defense. I mean, depending on after free agency and everything goes down, it's going to be interesting. I feel like it's going to be a defensive player. Now, who that may be, we don't know. But obviously, edge is definitely, I feel like, always a position in need for them. Definitely, linebacker can definitely be considered here as well. And as of right now, they hold the current 30th overall pick, but that's just as a projection. They can go many different routes. But corner, even, I feel like can be a need. But another position I feel like they're going to be taking it's a very slept on position. I feel like that people are not really talking about as much, is defensive tackle. And you can't have to, you have to think of life beyond Daquan Jones, Jordan Phillips, Van Jefferson. You have to kind of think of life outside of those guys, and they can't do it forever. So I feel like you need to get a young guy in there as well. Which brings me to, I feel like you need to get a young guy. So again, I feel like this is going to be a defensive player. I mean, you could go offensive here. I feel like you could go another wide receiver. But again, everyone's going to be begging for another wide receiver for so long. So we'll see what Mr. Brandon Beane and the scouting team has cooked up for us. But again, couple of my, this kind of brings me, that's why I mentioned the defensive tackle. My favorite players so far that I feel like that are going to be, hopefully they're going to be considered a first round talent after mocks come out, and after combine happens and everyone's done their meetings, and I will be watching that very closely with them after the season is over, the free agency has happened, and more mock drafts are definitely going to be coming out during the off season, post free agency, pre-move free agency, combine, post combine, and then we're gonna finish with a big finale at the week before NFL draft. But my favorite players, that's why I wanted to mention the defensive tackle. Derek Harmon, the big defensive tackle coming out of Oregon, 6'5", 310 pounds, 4 sacks this year, 2 forced fumbles, 21 solo tackles. This guy is a mauler in the run game, folks, and he like I said, he's not a typical guy to where he can beat you inside, but he can also beat you run game, pass game. He's shown flashes of pass rush and run stopping defense, but at 6'5", 310 pounds, that's a defensive tackle, folks, and he's going to be a name to people to watch. Will he survive at 30 after the combine? A lot of experts are saying projecting him in the second round. But again, I feel like after everything comes out and after every combine, after every combine meeting, combine, I feel like he's going to be considered in the top 32 that he's going to be worthy of getting picked on. Again, big physical guy that can win beat you on the inside, and I feel like that he would be a fantastic partner for Ed Oliver. 6'5", you can't beat that, and we all know the Bills like their length and their athleticism. 6'5", that can go with like Ed. That I know Ed is like 6'3", I think, in my opinion, but that's an insane height, folks. And at 310 pounds, and if you're moving at the quarterback, beating people on the inside, getting back in the running game, and getting and show flashes of pass rush, I think you can get excited for Derek Harmon. Another guy I want to talk about before we wrap up the video is another guy that I feel like that they should really consider a first rounder. But again, PPF is not really projecting him as the first rounder. They're kind of projecting him as a early second, mid second round guy. That is a Tacorio Davis, my favorite player coming out of this year's draft. Cornerback out of Arizona. 6'4", 190. Again, the reason I like him is because he has length, he has speed. Again, just a big physical corner that I feel like the Bills kind of lack in that position. Again, you don't really see big, tall corners in the NFL anymore. Obviously, 6 foot is kind of, I think, the average height for your cornerbacks. 6'1", but again, definitely something to consider. Like I said, he is one of the guys where it's just he can cover, he can beat you, he can run with your best receiver or second best receiver. Definitely the number one corner on Arizona right this year, but he didn't really have that good of a stat line. I think that's because of the lack of production that he's been having this season. 28 total tackles, 6 passes deflected, 1 career pick 6. It looks like. Definitely something to kind of keep an eye on. Again, he's not a ball hawker, but again, also the best cornerbacks don't need to be the best ball hawker here. They can beat you can defend the pass. You can do this. You can be the best cornerback and not have an interception. But again, that's what kind of makes a cornerback too, is the interceptions too, to be a ball hawk. But again, you don't need to be a ball hawk. As long as you can defend that pass from getting to that receiver, that makes a cornerback, folks. And I feel like Tacorio Davis, after it's said and done, I feel like he will be another cornerback being in the first round. Again, I didn't have that many going in the top 10, but again, that was only the top 10, folks. I can't really say enough about Tacorio Davis. Again, Derek Harmon and Tacorio Davis are both my favorite players, defensive players as of right now. Again, that's shocking I think going to be shocking to a lot of people, because when they say my favorite player, he's going to be like, oh, he's definitely going to say quarterback. Unfortunately, not this year. This year, I feel like I'm going to go a different route. This year, I'm going to go a different route, and I'm going to say defensive player. Another player I really like that I didn't get to is Barrett Carter, a linebacker out of Clemson. But that could be saved for another video. That could be saved for the other video, prospect profile on him. I'm going to try to sneak in. I'm going to, again, folks, I'm going to try to sneak in maybe a player profile or two for the NFL draft lean up to, so you guys can take a look at these players at yourself, see what you guys think, see what the audience thinks of Inside the Sidelines, and to help you guys with the feedback, to have you guys help me what you guys want to see next, and what the feedback is. But that is going to do it for me, folks. Again, I appreciate all the love and support for this channel. Again, I don't have that many subscribers, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the crew says if they watch this video. Again, if you made it to the end of this video, then please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Always helps out a ton. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this first edition of Mock Draft 1.0 Inside the Sidelines. Again, I am your host, Mitchell Smith, and I will see you all on the sidelines in the next episode. Y'all have a great day. and talk to you all soon. Have a nice day.